Hi friends, today we'll discuss once again the foreign exchange letter K chapter, and today this will be the continuation part. Today I'll try to finish the foreign exchange most important chapter, that is letter K. Thereafter we'll discuss the other chapter 2. Now today's chapter is like that. Letter K format and silent features of letter K. Issuing of the letter K, some silent features are there, and how the letter K to be issued. First of all, there are three modes of issuing the letter K. First mode is like that: prepare the letter K in the PESCI format approved by the IBA, and will send it by airmail or courier service. That is one type. And second type is the letter K to be prepared in different mode, and it is different from the prescribed format approved by IBA. If we prepare this format when talking about the second type of the LC mode, that is prepare the LC, coding will be there, and it will be sent through the telecommunication by telex or fax. Telex or fax, these are the modes, the telecommunication modes. There the coding, tested coding will be there, and this format is quite different from the earlier format. No specific format is there. The advising bank will give the code, tested code, and it will be tested code on advising bank. They will recode it and open the LC and forward it to the exporter. That is the second type of LC, second mode of LC. And last one is like that. Last one is the most popular format, popular type of LC is presently is all over the world is following this type of mode for opening the letter K. This type of mode, what is this? This is a letter K prepared in a specific format and send it through the SWIFT, and that is the most popular at present in the world, and all bank is choosing the SWIFT format. And while go for the opening the letter K under the SWIFT format, we have to choose the MT700. MT700 is prescribed for the opening of letter K, and throughout the world the SWIFT format MT700 are universal all over the world. Okay. As I said, the format for the letter K, as such there is no specific format for the letter K. In India, we are following the format approved by the IBA. Approved by IBA, that format we are using. And when we go for the, as I said earlier, when you go for the telecommunication for a mode of opening letter K, it is quite different from the earlier one. And as I said, the SWIFT format, it is the universal format, and we are following the SWIFT format and using the format MT700. That is the three type of modes of LC all over the world are using to open the letter K. Now, important things while we are issuing the letter K. What are the things we are following for opening the letter K? One by one I will discuss. Number one, numbers. Numbers, when we have to give some number while opening the letter K. Specifically, some specifications are there for putting the number while opening the letter K. We are giving the number like that. If it is the year correspondence advising bank, then we are giving the first alphabet. First format will be the advising bank's code. As for example, if it is the Bank of America, the BOA we are giving, or if it is the American Express Bank, Amex Bank, then we are giving AMEX, American Express Bank. Then we are giving a slash. Then we are giving the issuing branch code. If it is the Indian Overseas Bank Guwahati branch, then we are giving 0420, that is the code of Guwahati main branch. And thereafter we are giving the slash and then giving the number, the serial number of the LC we are using, we are issuing this particular year. One particular year, one after another, the serial number will come. That is, suppose, for example, we are giving the 15 slash 2019-20, that means 2019-20, 15 will be the serial number, and this serial number for the year 2019-20. When 1920 will be finished, we will again start from the 1 slash 01 slash 2020-21 21st, like that. This is the specific number for the issuing the letter 8 we are giving. Then date of the LC will be there, issuing date, specific date we are using. Specific date means number, how we are using the date in the letter K. We are using first year will come, then the month will come, then the date will come. Okay, suppose 2017 year, then month is suppose 11, then 11 will come, 11 November month, and date we are going to issue the LC today, date suppose, then it, as for example today is 20, today's 20 is coming, like that. And that means what is the date will be like that, as for example today's date you are considering, then 2020, then 06, and today's date is 20. That will be the date are usually using in letter date. Okay, then applicant's name will be there in the format. Applicant's name must be very clearly written in the application, typed very nicely. Then beneficiary's names also there will be very correctly as per the format. Which format? Sale contract. Beneficiaries and applicant's name will be there in the sale contract. If it is not there, if it is sale contract is not available, then what we said? We said that time in place of sale contract we can use pro forma invoice. And pro forma invoice also same way, the buyer and seller both name will be there very correctly, and the same name will be incorporated in the LC. Then we'll use the advising bank. The correspondent bank's name should be there very clearly, where we'll send the LC, whom will advise the LC and hand it over to the exporter. The advising bank's name will be there, and if possible their contact number, mail ID, everything should be mentioned in the LC. Then amount of LC. The amount of LC as per the pro forma invoice or sale contract, whatever the amount we have paid by buyers and seller been agreed, that amount very correctly to be mentioned in the LC, and with appropriate Incoterms. We'll discuss the Incoterms in details in our coming chapter. Okay. Appropriate Incoterms should be mentioned along with the amount. So as for example, LC, the invoice, proper invoice or sale contract is there. LC amount will be $15,000. Okay, 15,000 then we'll do like that. 50 US dollar, 50 in words, 50 USD, US dollar, then 15,000 only, and import terms will be, you have to put import terms FOB or CIF or CNF, like that. Import terms has to be mentioned very correctly as per the sale contract or performance invoice. And as you said, amount must be careful. It is we are issuing the foreign letter credit, not the Indian letter credit. In that case, the amount should be it must be you must be knowing the amount when we're using the foreign letter credit. We can use up to lakh, 1,000. When you go to the lakh and crore, then we will use the million and billion, not crores and not lakhs and crores. It is 1 lakh Indian currency, US currency, then we write in the foreign currency 100,000 US dollar. 100,000 US dollar equal to 1 lakh. Okay. It is like that. It is written. The amount should be written in thousand. Amount should be written in 100,000 and million and billion, etc. International as per the international practice. Not lakhs and crores. 1 lakh should be written as 100,000. 100,000 US dollar. That means 1 lakh. In our local currency, it is 1 lakh. Then the expiry date. Expiry date also has to be mentioned. That is, expiry date is nothing but the validity of the LC. Within that validity of the LC, document has to be presented by the exporter to his nominated bank, and expiry date also has to be mentioned. As I said, the issuing date pattern, it should be year first, then month, then date will be there. In this fashion, the expiry date will be there. Expiry date, basically, why the expiry date? Two meaning is there. One is validity of the LC, and second is within that expiry date, document has to be submitted to the negotiating bank by the exporter. Even after crossing this date, submitting the document to the negotiating bank may not accept nominated bank may not accept your document and may refuse the document, as because your validity of the LC is already being expired. That is the major defect. A major discrepancy. The LC, if you deposit they're going to deposit the document after the expiry date. Place of expiry and place of presentation, that is again very important thing in the LC. Place of expiry, place of expiry and place of presentation. Place of expiry means where the LC is going to be expired, and where the place where the document to be presented. It is usually what we do. We are giving the advice to our customer. You ask the importer bank or importer that presentation and expiry should be in exporter's country or the nominated bank's country. Why this is we are choosing? Because there are two aspects there. Two point you have to clear. You must keep in your mind very carefully. Don't advise your customer. That means your exporter customer in default manner, default way. Otherwise, your customer will be frustrated and he will be in difficult situation. If suppose you advise that you go for the presentation and presentation of the document and place of expiry. If you choose the importer's country and issuing bank country, then your exporter will be in trouble. Why they will be in trouble? I am telling you. If suppose the export presentation of the document and expiry place you have chosen the issuing bank country and issuing bank place or town or city, then what will happen? See, the document has been submitted to the nominated bank in time before the expiry of the LC. But when document then nominated bank will forward this document to the issuing bank. By this time, when you reach the document, by this time LC has been expired. Then issuer bank will not accept the document. They will return the document with the discrepancy note that your document has been presented here after the expiry of the LC, which is a very big discrepancy. So in that case, please advise your customer to ask the importer to give the place of presentation, and place of presentation and place of expiry should be the exporter country and exporter nominated bank place. Okay, that part you must be very careful. Last date of shipment. Last date of shipment, that is one clause will be there in the LC. Last date of shipment must be earlier than the validity of the LC, and within this date you have to complete your shipment. It is not necessary that shipment date and validity date are same. It should be earlier than the validity of the LC, and within this date your shipment has to, exporter has to complete the shipment. If suppose the shipment date considered to be the license of the importer license, then in that case you have to consider 15 days before the validity of the license or validity of the document, validity of the KIT, means letter of LC, your shipment date 15 days before the validity of the LC, or you have to consider the date of license, expiry date of the license. You have to consider that case. Then we'll come to the partial shipment. Partial shipment, allowed or disallowed. Partial shipment, what? Partial shipment is on piecemeal basis, your shipment will be completed. It may be allowed or may not be allowed. If partial shipment has been allowed, that means in 2-3 consignment you can complete the shipment, but must keep in mind your shipment has to be completed within the specific shipment date and validity of the LC. If suppose the letter of LC is silent about the partial shipment and allowed or not allowed, that clause is silent, not written anything. In that case, it constitutes that the partial shipment is accepted. Okay. Then let us next point is transshipment. Transshipment allowed or not allowed. Transshipment allowed or not allowed. Transshipment means suppose the goods will go from one port to another port. Final destination will go in twice. The shipment will take twice, from here to one point and from that point to final destination. That is the two shipment, two point of shipment will call the transshipment. Transshipment, loading and reloading, means your goods, suppose you are going to send it to the Germany. As for example, Germany, you are going to send the goods from India to Germany, from Calcutta port to Germany. Now, Calcutta port will be, it will dispatch the goods to the Germany. It is, suppose it is going to Berlin. Then suppose goods has gone to the first Frankfurt. Then once the goods will go to the Frankfurt, it will be unloaded. Again it will be reloaded and it will go for the Berlin. So this is called the transshipment. That here also same, if the your cade is silent about it in the transshipment allowed or disallowed, in that case you take it granted that the cade is permitted, transshipment is allowed. And one more point I like to share with you, partial shipment. Partial shipment, one more point I like to, partial shipment, suppose shipment has been done, 3 or 4 consignment completed, the total consignment has been completed, 3 or 4 consignment. In that case, submission of the document, presentation of the document to the nominated bank will consider from which date of shipment, from the last date of shipment. Take it granted. Suppose you have completed the consignment in 3 shipment. One you have completed 10th of January. Second one is completed 15th of January, and last one is completed, shipment completed at 25th of January. Okay, 10 January, 15 January and 25 January, and your presentation document date is within the 15 days from the shipment. In that case, which date will consider? From the 10th of January you will consider, or 15th of January you will consider, or 25th January you will consider. In that case, take a note in your mind that it will be from the last date of shipment, that is the 25th January will be considered the last date of shipment. From this date, within 15 days you have to submit the or present the document to the negotiating bank or nominated bank for presentation of your document. Then availability of cade. How the cade is available in the LC. You can find there are 2-3 clauses are there. One is payment is cade is available by sight. Then payment is available by negotiation. Payment is available by acceptance, and payment is available by deferred. These are the types of availability of payment are available in the letter of cade, foreign letter of cade. Okay. Now let me tell you what do you mean by the availability of at site. So at site, payment is available. The following beneficiary and one of the 4 modes. There are 4 modes are there. Payment is available, and you have given the tick mark at site. Payment at site. Payment at site means soon you have presented the document to the nominated bank. Soon you have submitted the document, exporter has submitted the document to the nominated bank. Nominated bank immediately make the payment to the exporter. That is called the payment at site. Okay. Then payment by negotiation. Payment by negotiation is like that. Now, soon completed the document, and submitted to the bank, nominated bank, and it is LC clause is there by payment by negotiation. Then what will happen? The nominated bank will purchase that document, and give the cade to the exporter. That is called the negotiating by negotiation. In that case, the nominated bank may be considered as negotiating bank, nominated bank to be considered as the negotiating bank. And next one is the deferred payment. Deferred payment. Soon the payment is received, document is received at the negotiating counter, then payment will be made at the specific date. Deferred time will be there, specific time will be there. On that specific maturity maturity period, the payment will be made. This is called the deferred payment. Okay. And we talk something more about the deferred payment. Deferred payment can be 45 days after the date of shipment or 15 days after the presentation of the document. That is, the deferred place clause will be there in the letter date, and according to that the payment will be available and given paid to the exporters. That is the deferred payment. And last one is the payment by acceptance. That is in case of the Ushan's bill purpose. That is in case of the Ushan's bill. Ushan's bill will come first, and the importer bank has to accept the document first. Has to give the acceptance of the document. Once the importer bank has given the signal that accepted the document, then only the payment will be accepted. Payment will be given to the exporter. That is in case of the Ushan's. First, suppose Ushan's period is 6 months. They have shipped the goods, and it has gone to the importer countries, and importer countries importers receive the goods, and by this time importer bank also received the document from the nominated bank. The issuing bank has received the document. Okay, and they have to, before that they have to give the clearance that they have accepted the documents. Once the bank has given the signal that they have accepted the documents, then the payment is made by acceptance only. If the bank has not given the signal that the document has been accepted, then the payment also been held up. Until the bank receives the acceptance, we cannot proceed for the payment. Though the payment will be made after the 6 months, because the Ushan's period is mentioned there 6 months. Okay, this is the availability of the all about the availability of the credit. Now, covering of shipment. This is covering shipment, something but the description of the goods as per the terms of the sale contract between buyer and seller and the pro forma invoice. Whatever the description of the goods is there, it must be total in the letter of credit. The description of the goods in the column description should be written as per the terms of the sale contract or pro forma invoice. While opening the letter of credit, issuing bank also mentions some other documents also, some of the certificates also in the letter of credit. That what are these certificate or documents? One is for the seaworthiness certificate. Seaworthiness certificate. Suppose the goods are going through sea. In that case, letter of credit involves the transport document is C. In that case, certificate from the Lloyd's Lloyd's servers have to give one certificate. What is this certificate? They have to give some certificate like that this ship is not 25 years of old, vessel is not more than 25 years old, in good condition vessel is vessel is a conference vessel, and it is not more than 25 years old. This type of certificate will be issued by the Lloyd servers. This is called the seaworthiness certificate. Okay. Then what are the others? What are the others document? Pre-shipment one document may bank may ask. Bank incorporate this pre-shipment clause in the letter K. Pre-shipment certificate to be issued by whom? Society General International Reputed Company. International reputed company, they are giving this pre-shipment certificate. That means before shipping of the goods, before it is boarded into the transport, they are inspecting the goods, and they are inspecting the goods, and they will give the certificate that we have inspected the goods. It is as per the description of the goods, a description in the mentioned in the letter carried, and it is good condition. Everything they will mention in the pre-shipment certificate. But this pre-shipment certificate may not be compulsory. We may skip at the request of the importer. If the importer and exporter both agrees the pre-shipment certificate is not required, then the importer may request his banker to skip this pre-shipment certificate. Then certificate of origin. Certificate of origin, one certificate is there. This is mandatory, and usually the bankers advising his customer, importer, please be strict to this clause, certificate of origin. It is usually issued by the Chamber of Commerce of the exporter country or exported town, where it is attested by them again. Other certificate also required. Analysis certificate may be incorporated in the letter K. Chemical analysis certificate also one certificate is there, that may be incorporated. Then health certificate also may ask the banker to be incorporated. Packing list will be there, weighment list will be there, then measurement list will be there. As per the goods, these are the certificate will be incorporated in the letter carried. And number of copies, what copies? These are the certificate you are asking. As for example, invoice, letter of invoice, then pre-shipment certificate, certificate of origin, then weight certificate, then packing list, all these certificate, how many numbers you will ask. In the LC, you have to mention how many copies you have to ask. If there is a specific number is there in the sale and buy sale contract or invoice, profit invoice, then you will mention the 6 copies or 8 copies invoice original with original one, double copy of duplicate and original copies of packing list, or 3 copies of packing list, like that you have to mention in the letter credit. If nothing is mentioned in the letter credit, then you take it granted that 2 copies original and duplicate has to be provided. Okay. UCP clause. If it is the LC is issued under the latest UCP, then you have to mention UCP 600, uniform practice. You have to mention UCP DC 600, uniform custom practice of document credit 600. Then last clause is reimbursement. This is the very important clause. All the LC carries this compulsory. You have to give the reimbursement instruction in the end of the letter credit. You have to give the reimbursement instruction to the to your exporter through this letter credit, how the reimbursement to take place. Okay. This is all about how the letter credit to be established. If you have any question, you can ask, or you can send it to my mail. I'll give reply as far as practicable, or you can ask me in other electronic media. I'll try to give you the befitting reply for that. That's all, and hardly a few things are left over for the issuing of the letter K. The main point is the what are the document or required for the letter A, as per example bill of exchange, then stamp duty, letter of credit, pro forma invoice, then packing list, weighment list. These are the things when the exporter will submit the documents to his nominated bank. These are the documents he has to submit to the nominated bank. Nominated bank will check with the LC and verify these are the documents have been submitted or not, and if the documents are incorrect in both as per the letter K, then you forward it to the LC issuing bank, and as I said earlier also ask for the payment, and that will be the once the payment received at the counter of the receiving nominated bank, then the bank may ask for to close the LC. That is all sorts of the letter K. And next chapter will be our, after letter K we'll go to the next chapter. Export and import. We talked about an export import. Where we are coming to the export and import after the letter K, because after the letter K been established, then the export and import is taking place. So in our next class we'll discuss letter export and import. Till then, goodbye. And if you have any question, as I said, you can raise your question and I will try to give the befitting reply as per as practical and as per your satisfaction. Okay, till then, goodbye, see you.